Parental discretion is advised.
Wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Welcome to the Wrestling Mayhem Show 320. We are ready. We're just high on sugar, and we can't take it anymore. We're going
Mountain Dew!
twitching.
A lot of Mountain Dew!
We got a great show lined up here. Great interview coming up with Ryan Edmonds that DJLunchbox will not participate in. And we're going to learn about his life, his love, and his competitions with the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. I am, of course, Sorg, your master of ceremonies. With me, as well, is Mr. DJ Lunchbox.
What's up, hot dog? It's DJ Lunchbox, Wrestling Mayhem Show. Fuck ThoughtfulRiot.com. Goddamn it. What's up, motherfuckers who did well and got the greatest podcast in the entire world on the internet. And this better be coming through. I swear to God, if my shit's muted again, I'm going to come over there and fucking whip my balls out and mutilate somebody.
Hi, Snookums.
Did it work? Was I muted?
No.
That sounds about right, actually.
Shit.
No.
Hi, sweetie. Who's calling me Snookums? The one and only motherfucking Chachi.
That's right, fuckers. It's the Chachi talking to the Sauce Box and the Sorg, and it's Wrestling Tuesday, and we do all types of crazy shit. Wrestle fans over there answering form spring questions and pissing everyone off because he's an infant, and therefore his opinions don't count.
Yeah, you tell him, Chachi.
Shut up, Wheels. No one's talking to you yet.
Wrestle fan?
My hair looks funny. Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Shut up!
How you guys doing?
Oh, Wrestle fan stoned.
It's college.
We got the Riz.
I'm not in college anymore.
Hi, Riz.
That's what you're supposed to do, man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Last night I was at Continental Energy Center and I had signed every body part known to man and woman and other. And here I am tonight on the Wrestling Mayhem Show to rock your socks off.
Riz stalking us the section over.
I know.
What's up with that?
We were above Gorilla.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. And also with us,
I was Gorilla.
Oh, he was the Gorilla. What?
You were the
Is that
gorilla.
a reference? I don't know. We also have a Rose Gallery up here in the Google Hangout in the Inception thing. We got
and with that, you just pissed off DJ Saucebox.
That's not what Inception means.
we got Bobby F. J Town.
Hi. How's everybody this week?
We got Wheels.
Hey, what's up, folks?
And we got John Fun.
Hey, everybody out there watching the Wrestling Mayhem Show. DJ Lunchbox, he's going crazy again. What's going on?
Hey, you guys can join us. We're here every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Sorgatronmedia.com. It's 8:30
Tuesday.
p.m. Eastern Time. We started off tonight, of course, with the interview, which you'll see in a little bit, and we have a blast to catch all the stuff, the craziness that goes on. You can also drop us a line. Check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, for all the articles. DJ LB has a really good article from last night in the reaction to what happened, what's going on with John Cena. Go check that out. What? Don't?
You don't?
No, I said yelp.
Oh, okay. And also, follow us.
And also,
Contact us.
Follow
Is that
us
our
on
sponsor
Twitter
now?
at Mayhem Show. Follow this show. Tag it WMS 320 if you want to comment on what happens in this show in particular, of course. We're on your Facebook. We have an open group on there as well as a page that you can like. You can click that over on WrestlingMayhemShow.com. We're also on Google Plus, where you can circle us and hop in the Hangout throughout the night and have some fun.
We'll circle you back.
Yup.
We'll circle you back, yo. What else we got? You can also drop us an email at
Good
times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Good times.
Yeah, send us emails. Send us those crazy questions, those comments, everything.
Or you can give us a call at 412-206-WMS0. That's 9670.
9670.
Or you can drop us a line on your iPhone and Android and iPad devices. We got the WMS Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold app, like the Riz is holding up behind me there.
Hopefully it doesn't crash like last time.
Shush. Report that to Wizard. Yeah, it's $1.99. You get access to all the episodes of the show.
If you buy it now, DJ Saucebox will whip out his sauce box.
I can buy it now.
I didn't
You
agree to
can.
this.
Why haven't you
I
bought
didn't
it
agree
yet?
to such sauce box exploitation. That shit is precious, like a flower, like a secret garden.
No, you completely agreed to it last night.
Shit.
Whoa.
How drunk
We
was
go
you?
check that out.
You can get me to do anything.
It's
I
your
know.
on your iTunes App Store. It's on the Amazon App Store. It might be on Google Play. We don't know.
My secret gardens on Google Play?
If you found it, we'll send you
Secret
stickers
Garden is on Google, Play.
Secret Garden.
Wow.
That was a song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the boss do one of those? I don't
You guys
know.
are-
I don't know what
Sorg
you're
singing
saying.
Savage
Wow, that is a
Garden.
cat in
We're
the
off to a
studio.
good
Okay.
start.
So we'd like to start things off on the show by you guys. You dictate what we talk about to begin with the fan mail, and I know Chachi has dibs over there. Are you ready, Chach?
Not yet. I wasn't expecting the.
In that case, we're going to go to the voicemail.
Wait, I have
you
it.
have
I have
to-
it. I have it. I have
He
it.
has it. He has it.
Oh, thank you, Chachi.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Sup, Mayhemers?
Sup?
I understand that we are supposed to suspend belief when watching a wrestling program, but
That's
trying
the
to
case.
convince me that CM Punk would turn down the advances of an emotionally unstable woman is way too much.
That's for damn true.
Now listen. Especially this guy
Well,
has been
okay.
around. He's dated Alita. He's dated Beth Phoenix.
Maria.
Who's he currently
Maria.
dating?
Yeah, Maria.
No, he's currently single.
He's currently single. He's in between divas
Dating
right now.
Cabana.
Okay, Colt Cabana. He's dating Colt Cabana.
CM Punk,
is-
if you're listening,
we-
CM Punk
dude,
knows.
CM Punk, if you're listening, dude, come on, go after that cookie. We yell at WrestleFan for going after the cookie. Go after that cookie.
Do the
If
cookie.
you don't, I will.
And that's a cookie I want.
There you go.
You better-
There
Does-
you go.
Does anyone else think that the Big Show segment is designed to turn him heel and have him interfere in the Big Johnny/John Cena match at the end of the night?
No, of course
Well, because
not.
he is fired.
Remember, the
How
rule
could
states.
that happen?
Remember,
He's not under contract, so he
remember,
can't be fired. Go ahead.
Yell at him. Yell
Go
at
ahead-
him. Yell
go
at
ahead,
him. Yell
Johnny.
at him.
Sorry, I stepped on you.
no, it's okay. It just
Don't
happened.
apologize.
I thought it was funny because it happened every time I said remember.
Wow.
Anyhow,
Oh, boy.
remember, the rule states that any contracted wrestler would be immediately terminated if they interfere. That better be the case, or else Big Show segment makes as much sense as a college degree in Riz's hands.
What?
Anthony J. Disler.
Wait, hold
I would just like to say that the Big Show segment last night was just as awkward in person as I'm sure it was on television.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is still on.
I wasn't supposed to laugh at it, but I was finding myself like keeled over in laughter watching this live.
Well,
I have
go ahead.
I have a thought on the Big Show segment.
Okay.
I think it was WWE's way of supporting their Be a Star thing. Because if the Big Show can get bullied and he's that big, you know, it might help a little kid who's small get, you know what I mean? It could've been
They
a way-
did a whole thing
Okay.
about that too.
Bobby
Okay.
is the smartest one.
He bullied John Laurinaitis, who bullied him back.
Yeah.
And
So
Which is
John
the wrong thing
Laurinaitis
to
is
do.
really the
And it made the Big
Face
Show
of it.
cry.
yeah, I think that what we need to take away from this is don't make fun of shitty wrestlers.
Isn't that what we do, though? I mean, isn't that like...
Listen,
You know how
Unless
many
they have drug
Facebook...
people.
You know how many Facebook
you don't
pages
get to see
I've
them
liked that are all about shitty wrestlers?
listen,
Don't-
Exactly.
Where do I begin?
You are not getting booked.
listen.
Wrestling memes.
wrestling memes. Yeah.
John Cena rules.
Come on. The people you aren't
Sorg.
getting booked, not
Sorg.
wrestlers. Don't
What?
give me that shit.
Sorg, be a star.
Be a star.
My whole
Yes, sir.
purpose for showing up on Tuesday nights is to make fun of shitty wrestlers
And wrestling.
and WrestleFan.
And me.
But don't make them cry.
Oh no, I make them cry. Ask
No,
No, I'm
WrestleFan.
sorry. When I saw Big Show crying, I went, "Oh, great, we're gonna have a flood."
No.
Well, see, the thing is, he started crying, and it kind of looked like he was constipated.
Aww.
Got to make poops.
Yeah, I was sad because the Big Show had to poop, and he couldn't poop.
I do find it hilarious that he thinks Prom is better than
Update on the Wrestling Mayhem
He's a
Show
good
app.
actor.
It is not on the Google Plus store, but however, there is a Husky Harris app.
Oh man.
Somebody buy it.
Oh, no.
No,
I don't have that.
nobody buy it ever because you're just encouraging that.
Oh, why not? Why not?
All right.
Anyways, go
unplug.
ahead.
Hey, he won the Royal Rumble for Chachi.
Yeah, he did.
Oh wait, that's it. That's it then.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to the voicemails here as I do some fiddling because I've run out of holes on my board.
Now I'm quiet.
That's
what she said.
You can't hear him. This one is more for the geekier side, I believe, from our good friend Big Freaky. As soon as it loads here, there you go.
I figure all you nerds out on the main show who love your Skyrim from the 360 will get a kick out of this.
See you, Bobby.
Hey.
Who's rapping? Dovahkiin. Dragons, I'm not over keen. I'll say something like a knife slicing right through an aubergine. My dragon shout flow is sweeter than a soda stream. You won't believe your eyes. I'm like an overload of dopamine. A broadsword in the one hand and a magic spell in the other. I'm the last of the dragonborn. There's no other. My brother
You can pull the plug anytime, Bobby.
Hey,
okay,
Thank
all
you,
right.
Bobby.
All right, Bobby. What's your review of that one?
I couldn't really understand it.
Yeah, there was a little problem. I think we're having a little problem with that chord
It
there.
was kind of muffled.
I'm so glad. It had so much to do with wrestling.
Did he rhyme Dovahkiin with Ovaltine?
I think you did. Okay, we got another one that's...
Didn't seem that awful, I gotta say.
Still, that had nothing to do with wrestling.
No. But
nothing.
it's us. Maybe if he called it in the Awesome Cast.
Yeah, that would work.
Oh, wait, no, we don't have a number anymore. That's right. He sent another one. He apparently attended a SmackDown show and brought a new fan with him.
Hustler is. Hey, guys, this is your old buddy
Hi.
Tim.
Hi.
And I got a big announcement for you guys. I got something big. I got a scoop for you.
Bring it.
Do it.
I just took my nephew Christian to his first ever wrestling show. It was WWE SmackDown. And he's going to tell you about it. Tell him about it, Christian.
Tell us.
Hey, Christian.
Yeah.
What do you think of the show?
Awesome.
What was your favorite part of the show?
The end.
Oh, we got ourselves a lifelonger here.
Oh.
Good job.
Oh.
No, it's on our end, not his.
Oh, he's thinking. I can see the wheels turning. He's thinking.
Don't hurt yourself, kid.
Is it the big red monster, Kane? Ah, he says it's Kane. We've got a bad boy here. He's a fan of the bad guys.
He's leading the witness. There you go. There you go. Well, he's got a new fan. He's spreading the love of wrestling, and you have to commend Big Freaky for that.
He's spreading the love of something. I don't know if it's wrestling.
Oh, that's too far.
What?
That is too far.
All right, I do believe that is all the emails for this week. Of course, there's a lot of conversation going over on the Facebook on our Wrestling Mayhem Show open forum. So be sure to drop by there. All you have to do is, how do you guys find that? How are you guys finding that? I just kind of showed up there one day. Look up, it's on one of the open groups. So drop in there. You have to request to be part of the circle there. But once you do, you're in on all the conversation. Let's get rid of my private messages. But as you see, we're talking wrestling, sharing videos.
Viagra?
Oh, my Alice order is coming in.
Why is it coming in a vase?
Having lots of fun. Having lots of fun, as you can see. But go check that out. That's seriously where a lot of the conversation is coming between that, and we have the Google Plus Hangouts on Monday nights. So friend one of us.
It's also just sharing a lot of stuff from the Wrestling Memes Facebook page.
There is a lot of that going on, and
that shit's fucking hilarious.
But there's a lot of videos too. Like WrestleFan shared one of the guys that he sees down in Texas was up in Cleveland over the past weekend at the JT.
That had a dance off with Chest Flexor.
That's right, the JT Lightning Invitational Tournament. So with Chest Flexor, I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet. So that's awesome. That's excellent. And of course, and then there's sometimes freaky things like the Hulk Hogan.
What you doing, brother?
That's kind of creepy. If you're on audio, go over to the Facebook open group.
That was me. That was all me.
It was. And it's now for, as AJ used to call it before he was retired in the Flair country, amateur falling down with WrestleFan.
Yay!
It's the minutes of indie wrestling.
Thank you for the support and stuff. The first thing that I'm going to talk about this week for the Indie Minute, there was a big shakeup that's been going on that I think I need to mention. This past weekend was the Ring of Honor iPay-per-view entitled Border Wars, which was their big. It was a big show. It's a big build show with their first pay-per-view in Canada, and it was also from what the event held. Kevin Steen beating Davey Richards to become the new Ring of Honor World Champion. So there's a lot of stuff behind it, but apparently a lot of fans aren't very happy because a lot of people didn't get to see a majority of the pay-per-view. Due to some problems that were occurring on the Ring of Honor website during the pay-per-view. There was some issues with people not being able to log into their accounts, that the page wouldn't, allow them to. And it was making fans kind of angry. ROH released a statement, and the fans weren't that happy. There's a lot of anger about that. They announced that they were going to, for everyone that ordered the Border Wars pay-per-view, we're going to get their next pay-per-view, Best in the World 2012, for free. So I guess that's really good. But a lot of fans still not happy. And sort of one of the interesting things was even on the same night as that pay-per-view was going on, Evolve was having their own pay-per-view. And Gabe Sapolsky, former writer for Ring of Honor and current booker for Evolve and Dragon Gate, wasn't too shy in mentioning, his former company's issues. Asking the fans on Twitter, hey, how do you think the Evolve pay-per-view feed is looking? And then adding hashtag ROH Border Wars afterwards. So Gabe Sapolsky not being too quiet about the issues that are going on, but from Ring of Honor. Hopefully they'll be able. ROH will be able to amend it. Like I said, it was a big hype show. So for them to not really have the pay-per-view go all that way through was sort of a disappointment. I'm sorry, WrestleFan, but this is also they just switched providers by kind of internally providing their pay-per-views too, right? That's true, yeah. They said they had looked at everything beforehand. They had tested stuff, and it seemed like everything was going to go well. And it was sort of something that really happened out of nowhere. It sounded like it was a login problem on the website from the mass people that were right. It was
all server issues.
Yeah, server issues. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how ROH recovers from this, because this was a big sort of hit to them. It was a heavily hyped pay-per-view with the whole Kevin Steen angle that they were building. But hopefully, they can rebound from this, and hopefully they can still do some really great stuff. But definitely go check out ROHWrestling.com. They got a lot of good stuff there. Like you said, you can order the next pay-per-view, Best in the World 2012, and get a lot of great stuff from there. The next thing I'm going to talk about in the Indie Minute is our friends over at AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling. This past weekend, they had their JT Lightning Invitational Tournament, which went off apparently really, really amazingly. There was a lot of great stuff coming from that event. The big news was that the whole premise was that the winner of the tournament was going to get a title shot against Shima Zion for the Absolute title at Absolution. However, this was from the fact that Shima had won the belt at last year's Absolution, but hasn't defended it since then, since he's been in TNA. He hasn't been on an Absolute Wrestling show. They announced in the beginning of the show that they had stripped Shima Zion of the Absolute title, and therefore the winner of the tournament would win the Absolute Championship. It ended. Eric Ryan won the Absolute title in the main event in a three-way finals against BJ Whitmer and also ACH, who's down here in Texas. So that was a really great event. There was a lot of awesome people there. Cole Cabana, Brian Kendrick. A lot of really great talent was there. Go keep an eye out for them, AIWrestling.com. Hopefully their DVD will be out soon, as we see some of the shenanigans on the Facebook page of the dance-off that was hosted by one ACH during the intermission of one night of the JT Lightning Invitational Tournament. So you never know what you can get, especially at a show like AIW, who puts on, Really, really cool stuff. So check them out, AIWrestling.com.
We don't talk about AIW enough up there because they're doing something cool, something different, something like they're kind of like the alternative wrestling group, you know. Yeah, I want to say ECW-esque, but in comparison to something like Prime Wrestling that's on Sports Time, that's kind of more the 4TV thing. And I don't know too much else going on in Cleveland at the moment. I think there might be another group up around there, but it's mostly.
That's a given.
What's that?
That's a given.
What?
Nothing going on in Cleveland.
Oh, that's right, just like Johnstown. Okay.
Yeah,
there's
stuff going on in Johnstown this weekend.
That's right. But yeah, go check them out, and they got DVDs and everything out there too. So.
Definitely a lot of really great stuff there. And the final note that I want to make on this week's Indie Minute is the show that I will be going to this weekend that's going to be really amazing for our friends at Anarchy Championship Wrestling. They are holding Nothing is as Real as a Dream, a Night Under the Stars, Pro Wrestling Prom. That is going to be an absolutely spectacular event. If you are not going to that event and you're in the Austin, Texas area, shame on you because it's going to be amazing stuff. Main event of ACH, Jacobs Pliskin and Sean Vex in a three-way match, which is going to be really great. Jerry Lynn continues his retirement tour, as he'll be teaming with Matt Fitchett to take on two members of the Submission Squad, Gary J. and Evan Jalistico. There will be a Dream Tag Team Partner evening gown match in the spirit of Everything Prom between some of the Joshi stars. There's going to be a lot of really great action. And, there's going to be cake, there's going to be punch, bring a date, it's going to be really awesome stuff, get dressed up, something unique that probably a lot of people have never seen before, a pro wrestling prom. So definitely go check them out. That's this Sunday in Austin, Texas, 912 Red River Mohawk in Austin, Texas. It's going to be a really awesome show, and go check them out at anarchychampionshipwrestling.com to get more information on that. And that, my friends, is your Indie Minute for this week.
Thank you, WrestleFan. With us right now is Ryan Edmonds, who's been ripping it up in RWA here in Western PA. And as we've heard from some of our fans, that I guess he's making the rounds out of state as well. And we're going to hope to hear all about it here. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing good. I want to clarify something real quick. You say I'm making the rounds in other states. I'm doing way more than just making rounds. I'm tearing it up and leaving a path everywhere I go because I am the best wrestler on the East Coast today.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we're very surprised. We're actually doing a booth over at the Comic-Con, and we were selling some RWA DVDs. They saw you on the DVDs and said, that guy's the shit right there. And this guy was from, like Virginia or something.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so, well, first tell us, of course, you're here locally with Renegade Wrestling Alliance in the greater Pittsburgh area, of course. Where else are you? Because I'm unfamiliar, because I just know you from the region.
Well, I'm everywhere. West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, the East Coast. I've worked in Puerto Rico. I've worked everywhere.
Excellent, excellent. So tell me, how long you been in the biz, and how did you get into it?
I started working myself in 2009. My dad was actually a wrestler. He's actually in the West Virginia Wrestling Hall of Fame. So I've been around this since I was about 7 years old.
Excellent, excellent. So you're a second generation. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Excellent. Wheels, you got anything for him?
Not off the top of my head right now. I mean, maybe I'll think of something eventually. I don't know.
All right, I thought he was going to have something there. But
sorry about Pennsylvania guys for you.
What's that?
Oh.
I said there's one of those Pennsylvania guys for you. Can't even be prepared to do a damn interview.
I remember that, Ryan. I remember that.
Remember it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play that Pour Some Sugar on Me a little louder than normal Saturday.
You know what? You don't even want to get me started on Ryan Mitchell. I promise you don't have enough time, or there's not enough space on this show for me to start talking about Ryan Mitchell.
I think we have somebody that agrees with you here in the studio with the Ryan Mitchell. Well, let's talk a little bit about RWA. Of course, you've been a PA regional champion. You have a lot of stuff going on there. I know we're familiar with. I
was the longest reigning Pennsylvania champion in history.
That's right. That's right. Tell us about how are you liking it in RWA and what do you think of the competition there?
First of all, there is no competition in the RWA. Like I just said, I was the longest reigning champion in history. Mm-hmm. But anybody that's been paying any bit of attention to the RWA knows what I've been doing lately. You know, I'm sick and I'm tired of this assumption that Ryan Mitchell is the best thing going in the Pittsburgh area. He's the best thing going in the RWA. Anybody who's been watching the past 3 months knows I've left that man laying in the center of the ring each and every time. I've taken him to the limit each and every time. He may have gotten lucky last time, and he might have my belt right now, but he better, I swear to God, he better be shining it up, because this Saturday night I am taking it back.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you've been wrestling with them for a while. What are some of the highlights? Like, of course, you're PA regional champion. You're having a tremendous run of matches here with Ryan Mitchell. You know, what else is kind of your highlights from your time there?
Well, probably the hard fought, match of the night, probably match of the year candidate of when I beat one of the, some of the toughest competition I've ever faced in my entire life. And Angel, my girlfriend, what a match that was, a real knockdown, drag out brawl.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. I saw it firsthand at ringside with the camera.
Yeah, I tell you what, one of the hardest matches I've ever been in my entire career. But just like I always do, I persevered, even though that bitch, Ryan Mitchell, stuck his nose where it doesn't belong.
Well, Mr. Edmonds, I came prepared for this interview this evening.
Who's this?
This is Chachi. So a friend of mine was curious as to what weapon would be best when silencing someone who needs to learn their place, and they gave a few options, one of which there's a bar of soap and a sock, a sack of oranges, or a roll full of quarters in a sock. Which one of those would you say best silence someone or puts them in their place?
That's the dumbest question I've ever heard in my entire life.
And a follow-up is, which excuse works better? Walking into a door or falling down a set of stairs?
Brother, I don't need to make excuses for what I do. I speak the truth, and I do what needs to be done at the time. If I need to smack a bitch, I'll smack a bitch. She needs to learn her place. And you know what? She's starting to come around.
It's been, you guys have been having troubles for a while here, relationship-wise. I don't know, troubles, improvements, negotiations. I don't know how you see them on your end. But it's interesting on our end in the crowd or behind the camera or anything like that. And I know the crowd in West Newton are very loud, very vociferous, and tend to disagree with how your relationship is handled. What do you have to say about to that?
About the crowd in West Newton?
Mm-hmm.
West Newton, Pennsylvania is a bunch of inbred morons. Okay? I walk out there each and every month and I see all these stupid signs of Edmonds sucks, and I hear their stupid chants, woman beater, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a damn what anybody in West Newton thinks of me, what they say about me. All I care about are wins and losses and being the absolute best.
Excellent, excellent. All right, I want to open the floor here. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Edmonds here?
Actually, I do have a question for him there, Sorg.
Okay.
Ryan, last month we saw that you got a newest member into the Feel Bad 5 with the addition of a former rival of yours, Lamont Williams. I just want to know what your thoughts of that were.
My thoughts? No comment.
No comment? Okay.
That's no comment.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone that knows me knows my thoughts on that.
Yeah, you've had some issues in the past with Mr. Williams.
A time or two.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You know what? I'm not here to talk about Lamont Williams, and I'm not here to talk about Angel, and I'm not here to talk about Ryan Mitchell. I'm here to talk about me. Okay? I'm here to talk about me. Like I said, I'm sick and tired of the assumption that Ryan Mitchell is the best. I am the best. Everyone's talking about the matches Ryan Mitchell's been having lately. You know why he's been having those matches lately? Because for the first time in his career, he's standing across the ring from someone who's just as good as he is. He's standing across the ring from simply the best. Ryan Mitchell has been taken to the limit each and every time he stepped in the ring with me. And if you haven't noticed, he's been left laying each and every time. Now, anybody who knows me knows I despise hardcore wrestling. It's something I don't do. But the one thing I hate more than hardcore is Ryan Mitchell. So for one time and one time only, I'm going to do it. This Saturday night in West Newton, it's going to be a street fight, and I swear to God, I'm going to kick Ryan Mitchell's ass from one end of that building to the other, and I'm taking my belt back.
Well, tell me, how does the man with the moniker Simply the Best prepare himself and train for a challenge like this, especially a match you don't like?
Well, you don't have to prepare and train when you're born the best. It comes naturally. You go out there and you do what you do. Ryan Mitchell likes to hit the gym, and he's got the nice abs and the nice chest, and he's got all that, and he has all the fancy moves, and he likes to dive off the top rope. I don't need all that. Okay? I was born to be a wrestler. I know what I'm doing in that ring. I win matches. I win championships. And this Saturday night will be just another night when I do just that.
All right. And that's this Saturday night, rwalive.com. If you want to find out more about that, I want to give a chance for the guys in the Hangout here that are hanging out with us. If anybody else has anything to say to Ryan Edmonds here.
Yeah, one quick one. This is Jonathan John Fun Miller. I just wanted to say I got to see that match where Ryan Mitchell somehow squeaked out a win over you, and I think it's horrendous, and I hope you get your belt back. Whatever happens, beat the living crap out of Ryan Mitchell there. Ryan Edmonds, Simply the Best.
Finally, you've got somebody with some sense on this stupid show. Where are you from? What did you say your name was?
Jonathan John Fun Miller.
Jonathan, where are you from, Jonathan?
I'm from Nitro, West Virginia.
I knew it. I knew you couldn't possibly be from that hellhole in Pennsylvania. I knew it. Jonathan, are you going to be at the show on Saturday?
I don't believe I'm going to be able to make it, but if I could make it up there, I would be supporting Simply the Best Ryan Edmonds, because it's obvious. It's obvious who is going to win up there.
You need to get your ass, just like everybody listening to this show, just like everybody talking to me on Facebook, just like everybody who can hear the sound of my voice needs to get their ass to that building, and they need to bring their stupid signs, and they need to chant their stupid chants, and they need to make as much noise as they possibly can, because when it's all said and done and that match is over and I'm once again the Pennsylvania regional champion, I want to walk out of that ring and I want to take those signs and I want to shove them in their face. And when I'm done with that, I want to smack the stupid chants out of their mouth.
It's about time someone does that, because it sounds like it's been a long time coming up there.
Yeah, there's definitely some a few Ryan Mitchell detractors up in the area here, and it sounds like you're becoming a champion for them.
They're looking for a change. They're sick and they're tired of this cookie cutter Ryan Mitchell coming out with his stupid song and his stupid tights, with his stupid ads and his stupid hair, coming out there doing the same thing each and every month. I'm going to give Ryan Mitchell his due. He is very, very, very good, and he has been the very best in Pittsburgh. Keyword has. He has until I showed up. And for the first time in his career, he has somebody standing across the ring from him who's better than him. I am better than Ryan Mitchell.
Excellent, excellent. Before we let you go here, I want to give you a chance. Other than RWA, is there anything else you want to throw out there where you'll be showing up in the next few months?
There is something else I want to throw out there. First of all, this Friday night before RWA, I have a little tune-up in Princeton, West Virginia for West Virginia Championship Wrestling. You can find all that information on Facebook. But there is one more man I want to address, and he happens to be coming to the RWA as well, and I, and only I, know why. See, has anybody else noticed who the big name is coming to RWA this month?
Oh, yeah. That Sorg, if I think you saw it, it's Lodi, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah. Former WCW star Lodi is coming to RWA this month. Does anybody know why Lodi's coming to RWA this month?
That's a good question.
You probably don't.
Like to know.
You probably don't because you're a bunch of virgin retards. But I know why, and let me give you the backstory. A couple months ago in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, there was a vacated title for a promotion by the name of SPW. The main event of that show was for that title, and it was myself, Ryan Edmonds, taking on that former star, Lodi. And I came out on top, and it is eating at Lodi. He cannot stand the fact that this young kid proved that he's better than him, so he's been chasing me, and now he's chasing me to the RWA because he's trying to study me and watch the game film and see what I've got, because the week after, next week, May 28th, in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, is going to be a rematch for that title. But I have a little news for Lodi. I don't care how many times he watches me. I don't care how many times he Googles me. I don't care how many times he looks me up on YouTube. He will never, ever, ever beat me in a professional wrestling match. He can follow me to the RWA. He can follow me to War Wrestling in Ohio. He can follow me to Saul Wrestling in Nashville. He can follow me anywhere he wants. But he will never, ever beat me, just like Ryan Mitchell will not beat me this Saturday. Excellent.
Hey, it's been great to see what's going on in RWA, and a lot of talent grow, and a lot of talent coming in, like Lodi, some other name talent and everything. Edmonds, you've been one of the guys over the last few years, been really, really entertaining. And everybody, give a shot at RWA, RWAlive.com this Saturday. It's No Retreat 4. Are we up to 4 now, is it?
Yes.
Go.
Wow.
Go check that out. And, of course, DVDs will be available shortly after from sorgatronmedia.com. Thank you very much, Ryan Edmonds, for joining us on the show.
The pleasure was all yours.
I'm sure it was. Thank you very much. And with that, we're going to go check out what's going on at Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold and a little look at a best of DVD from IWC for your video guys out there. We'll be right back. All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, no problem. Is that all right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was good. We had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you, Ryan. That was great stuff, bro.
So, all right, yeah, thanks a lot. It'll be up. Audio will be up late tonight, like probably about 2 or 3 in the morning, and we'll have video sometime tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. If you could plug it on the Facebook, like the RWA Facebook.
Oh, definitely.
Like
I always
Mitchell
do.
Calls out Ryan Edmonds calls out Ryan Mitchell. That'd be awesome.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I will.
Awesome. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thanks a lot.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
That was fun.
I was trying not to laugh.
I was trying not to laugh. So I had to turn my mic off because I was laughing so hard thanks to John.
I didn't even see John come in here. I'm just like, hey.
I stuck in a back door.
Like, who the fuck is this?
You're not the only one who does that, John.
Oh!
Yeah, that was
And
really
be like, oh, don't censor people and then try and censor you, wrestle fan. I'm not going to do that. That's fine. You post whatever you want on your Twitter. Shut up.
Chachi.
Shut up, Sorg. My eye was super twitchy for a while there. Seriously, just eat bananas and relax a little bit. You'll be fine.
I'm doing a podcast. I can't relax. I can maybe eat a banana. I did buy some.
It'll dictate the quality of followers that you get on Twitter.
Are you having a
That's the
podcast
point.
session? What's going on here?
I'm not having a podcast session. Shut the fuck up.
Let me set the record straight. I am ready for any and everything that you could put up on my plate. Yeah, I've had broke bones. Yeah, I've had deep cuts. Doctor looking crazy while he was fixing me up. I am G1000, part steel and part flesh. At this point, I am part real, you part
Mayhem Show. I'm wearing my sunglasses, and it's time. It's time, my friends. I'm not going to introduce this segment completely because I'm not doing it this week, but it is time for the one and only look to the right, look to the left, goofy look on your face. Remember when?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and it's time for a little segment that we like to call Remember When? This week, I would like you all to remember when wrestling games were actually good. Now, I say this with premise. I have a purpose here. I've been playing a lot of WWE 12 again lately. Wheels, I need to talk to you about that after the show. Don't let me forget. But I've been playing a lot, and I decided that since my save game got erased when I upgraded my storage system, that I was gonna bypass the actual storyline of the show, or of the game, because, honestly, I didn't like it. It fucking blew. No, I can explain. I don't like playing a game, beating a goal, in this case, winning a match, only to have the cutscene say, "Fuck you, you lost." Because I'm not playing on easy here. So sometimes it's kind of hard to win these matches. And so to just have the programmers be like, "No, you actually lost, here's why." After all that work, no, fuck you, assholes. You can kiss my ass. But, so I started playing WWE Universe with my creative character, who was rising through the ranks. At the beginning, he was in this weird faction with Big Show and Santino. I can't explain it.
Big Toe.
Yeah, Big Toe. And, it actually popped up at one point and said, "You and Santino are friendly. Would you like to start a faction?" I'm like, alright, sure, why not? I got slots open. Well, I'm going through Universe, and my popularity keeps going up, so they give me a #1 contenders match against Mason Ryan. I kill him. And then I start a feud with Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar shows up and completely decimates me on the ramp in a stupid cutscene. And I'm like, okay. No, it was against Randy Orton, but Brock Lesnar showed up.
No, but #1 contender against Mason Ryan?
Yeah, I know. Anyhow. And then it came time for Royal Rumble. This is the part that pisses me off because I hate the Royal Rumble in this game. The gameplay is bad.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
And so I simulated it. And to my surprise, my creative character won the Royal Rumble.
Whoa.
So I'm going to WrestleMania.
Point.
Alright? Along the way, I'm unlocking achievements, which is all well and good, because it's Xbox, and everybody loves achievements. Well, the game glitches.
Oh, shit.
And it turns out that I'm in another #1 contenders match with Mason Ryan. And so I squash him again. Fine. After that, I am not in the game for a month. All these shows are going by. They're like, "Oh, you're already going to WrestleMania. Just take the month off." I show up at WrestleMania. It's me and CM Punk for the WWE title in the main event. And I'm like, "Oh, sweet. I get to squash CM Punk. This will be fun." No! The game says, "Fuck you, Chachi. Brock Lesnar's gonna whoop your ass on this stage, and you're gonna start the match laying down in the middle of the ring." CM Punk picks me up. He does not 1, but 4 pump handle slams in a row, gives me the GTS, and pins my happy ass. I'm like, so...
I don't think you were happy, Chachi.
I know. So I'm like, so...
What happened to button mashing?
That's it?
I would have cried.
I did a rematch, and we started standing up in the ring as if the whole Brock Lesnar thing never happened, and I beat CM Punk and became the champion, and that's all the farther I'm allowed to go. I can't go past WrestleMania. So I'm done. I've done everything there is to do in the game except for unlock achievements, yet I've only unlocked like 4 unlockables.
You've done everything you could in the game. You beat Mason Ryan. You beat Mason Ryan again.
Well,
you got beat by Brock Lesnar.
As far as the game is telling me, I can't do anything else. Unless I start over.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, alright, well, let me restart the system. So I restart, and it takes me back to WrestleMania. The only match on the card that has been completed was my match against CM Punk for the belt, and it's showing me as winning, but 2 matches earlier in the card, it's now miraculously showing that I'm facing Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship.
Double champion?
Yeah, I just simulated and I lost. That's fine.
Oh.
So, I mean...
I talk the U.S. title.
I know. I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care. But, I mean, this is the crap they're giving us now?
For $60?
Yeah, for $60, you're giving me this. Or, I can pay an extra $12.95, which takes my total up to $72, to download the rest of the crap. I mean, it took me 25 minutes to get into a match on Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
That was Xbox Live for WWE 12 is probably one of the worst experiences I've had with the Xbox.
Well, it's usually WWE games are never good for like Xbox Live.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
for the online.
Yeah, but it's either not working properly, or it reads it wrong, and your move comes in later and later and later. And for some reason...
I don't even do any matches on live. I just sit there, I go look for somebody's, like, created wrestler. I'm like, that's it. Because I'm not having a match with these.
Oh, and how fucked up was
A lot of times that even shuts down.
Yeah, that shuts down constantly.
Yeah, it does.
I remember when I first got WWE 12, I tried to play with WrestleFan, and I couldn't play against him because we didn't have the exact same downloaded content.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah, that was fucked up.
It's fucked up.
And then we got the same downloadable content and it still wouldn't work.
Yeah. It's fucking insane.
I mean, I at this point, and I hate to say it, because THQ has done a lot of good in the video game world.
No, they haven't.
But shut up.
Yes, they have.
Out of all of us, you're the one who's not allowed to comment on video games.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Yeah, you fetus.
Sorg, Chachi has decreed.
Anyhow, at this point, I'm kind of happy that THQ is going bankrupt, because maybe someone else will release a wrestling game that's actually good.
Just make sure it's not Acclaim.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to go back to...
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Or
shut your mouth.
Wait. What was good on Acclaim?
Oh, no. Acclaim made a good wrestling game in the fucking 80s.
WWE or WWF Royal Rumble for the Super Nintendo was an amazing game.
Well, yeah.
Oh, wow, they made one decades ago.
One. They also had Warzone and Raw is War, and it's the same fucking game.
Yeah, because they had a formula, and they were all the same game, just with more characters. This one's on a CD for the Sega CD. I know it's Arena, but that was the side thing for Acclaim. And
then they do ECWs too. And it was the same.
No. Well, they did
the same game.
They did the Warzone stuff, and they used the same engine when they lost the license for some ECW titles. That engine was crap. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was. They had.
Let me.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me ask you guys this, because I don't want to end this segment on a down note. What was your favorite?
Okay,
what was your
WWE
all-time favorite wrestling game?
WCW Revenge.
Oh shit.
Revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like No Mercy does it better, but that's the one I played was Revenge. I just never ended up getting No Mercy until actually a little bit ago. It's sitting up there. So
yeah, No Mercy was pretty good. I did enjoy that.
WrestleMania, the arcade game.
Oh, and which one I thoroughly enjoyed the most? WrestleFest in the arcade.
Shit, which wrestling game was my favorite?
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
a
in college, we spent hours and hours and hours with Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fantastic. And before that, Raw for the Sega Genesis. Little fucking pixelated characters. It was great.
When SmackDown came out on the PlayStation, that was because that was the start of that. And it was very arcadey and fast, and it was really enjoyable. And they had a lot of the backstage stuff. I mean, it was the start of THQ and what became what we have now through that whole lineage of how many years? 14 years, wasn't it?
Shit.
I mean, I have two.
You have two?
You have two?
I have two.
Same here.
I'll start with the newer one. Which one do you have? SmackDown versus Raw.
You think in 2006 that you borrowed?
Yes.
Okay.
I loved that game.
It has like Cena and Batista on the cover.
Yeah, I love that game.
I remember that.
Because of the whole Road to WrestleMania storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the storyline should be.
Because that's one of those where it diverges if you win or lose.
Exactly.
You go a different way.
Yes.
Like that's the one thing I didn't like about the new Road to WrestleMania, because it's very linear.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, I gotta do this. Okay, you gotta do this.
Yeah.
So
I remember there's a SmackDown versus Raw like 2008 or 2009 or something like that, where you wrestle in story mode and you have these storylines going on, but you can switch brands. But if you switch brands, it's the same storyline, just different people.
yeah.
And they just continue it with different people.
And you would see limitations, because eventually you get to something where, because I mean the guys have to sit there, right? That they have to like plan every path out, and you're going to start seeing wrinkles in that eventually.
You ready for my second one?
Okay.
Brace yourself. Ready?
Yep.
Ready.
Pro Wrestling. Starman FTW.
Yes. You played it. Chachi. You played it at Chachi Plays this year.
Fucking right.
That's right.
That was when
Strong bad.
when I went out and because it took me a while to rebuy the Nintendo and restart my collection, but when I bought the Nintendo, the first game that I bought that didn't come with the set that I bought was Pro Wrestling.
That was so much fun. I agree, Chachi.
I played it for hours.
I remember the referee in that game.
I love Pro Wrestling.
1, 2.
That's
That was
why
1986.
Yes.
That was tag team wrestling.
Oh, tag team wrestling.
That's
That
Technically
thing
tag
was
team
epic.
wrestling.
He's nugging
But-
him. Yeah, the one
Strong
guy-
bad. Strong
Yeah,
bad
that's
rules the world.
That's where Strong Bad came from.
yeah. But I mean, the simplicity, but the awesomeness of the game is just amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as I love the new games that are coming out, Pro Wrestling will always be one of my favorite wrestling games.
Yeah. I agree.
Anybody else want to chime in before we move on here?
I had Super Brawl.
Super Brawl?
WCW Super Brawl for Super Nintendo. It was one of the ones, actually, they had like a 3/4 view of the ring, and it had Sting, Brian Pillman, a lot of the guys with this, like the selection screen would randomly say their one line, like Sting would do the how, and one of them would go, "Who deserves the belt?" Yeah, there it is. That thing was. Yeah, Johnny B. Bad. I'm a bad man.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it was one of the wilder ones because even woo. There's Ric Flair, because he was. It was just one of those fun ones because it was different at the time. It wasn't just the regular Acclaim stuff, and it was. It didn't really have much story to it, but it was especially the sunset flip right there. That sunset flip was one of the funner moves to do from the Natural Dustin Rhodes. That's another one.
Dustin Rhodes,
the Bulldog.
Flair.
The Bulldog was so epic. I'm doing commentary on the video game.
Steiner. But I love like
ago.
a picture of Tony Schiavone will pop up, and these little pictures.
Yeah,
the little animation. That's incredible. And the bell would pop up.
It was so ridiculously fun. I mean, I had the power slam. Boom! Ron Simmons power slam. The other one, I guess, that was, like I said, that was one of the funner ones because it was something different at the time. I got it for a Christmas present, and we found it at like a KB Toys. It was the last copy they had in. I was like, really? This thing actually like sold out or something? But the other one would be like SmackDown 2004, when they had like I think that was the Here Comes the Pain one. It had Brock Lesnar, a really good creative character, and you could go from WrestleMania to WrestleMania in story mode and restart as champion, which was really really fun to do. really, really fun to do. And I think I wore that thing out. And I had like a creative character that was, that one. Yeah, it's that one. I had a creative character that was like at like a level 96. They had the ranking, and if you got the characters too low, back when back when John Cena was still doing the Thugonomics gimmicks, but it was funny because I had my friend grab my creative character. He's like, "Your creative character's too high," and just whooped my. And I mean, it was just one of those. It had such a good feeling. And I mean, my friend was like, "Brock looks so much like a jacked up monkey."
Oh man,
you know this
was the one that
it's the one you're talking about.
No, that was the one that made you. If your character was too low, you had to wrestle on like Superstars or Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it would make you wrestle on the shows that you were ranked on.
Yeah.
Before they even let you
work your way up.
Yeah. Oh man,
That's how
this
is the one I was telling LB. Like, this is the one where it was like, oh, they're kind of getting the realistic thing down. And, granted, this was like PlayStation 2, and it looked fantastic for the day. Then they went with like SmackDown versus Raw, and I thought everything, like the first one, everything just looked so cartoony, Yeah. I mean, and that was, and that threw me off from it. And of course, it got better, and it's what we got now, over the years. But it was just like a complete reset button on the whole thing. So I don't know.
What's really weird about 12, though, I mean, just to get into that really weird statement, is they added too many damn games to it. I mean, not games, too many belts in the game.
Yeah. No, it's just like real life, man.
Yeah. True. I mean, I think they should have, if they're going to do too many belts, do that created championship again.
Yeah.
I got a classic game.
What's that?
Royal Rumble for SNES/Genesis.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
one of the best. Raise your remote all day.
We played that at Chachi Plays as well.
Yeah, that's right. Debtors played that with us, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Sega version had Warrior in it, which was hilariously fun.
Here's a little bit of that here.
Another good one was King of the Ring, too, for NES.
That was another one that slipped by me. I didn't get to see too much of it, but I was looking at some videos. I was like, wow, why that looked awesome for the NES. Why did that pass me by?
Dude, WCW NWO World Tour, that shit was incredible.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
Fucking PS1 and had like a surprisingly deep roster of characters.
Yeah, but it was always like that little corner was WCW, and then the rest were Japanese guys you'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until I got older, and then I realized that I knew who everyone was.
I don't know, if anybody remembers Doki Doki Panic Super Mario Bros. 2 story we talked about on AwesomeCast earlier, I'm pretty sure this was the same situation. That this was a Japanese wrestling game. They rebranded, threw some WCW guys in there, call it WCW versus the World. Bam.
Doki Doki WCW.
Doki Doki WCW. I think that's great. This is a great conversation, but we got to move on here and talk a little bit about...
You remember in the Hangout we were talking about the ham that bounced across for Andre the Giant?
Oh, yes! On the original WrestleMania game? Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was... I have a handheld around here.
Ham on the bone.
Actually, it's right up here, because I don't know. Anybody ever seen this one?
Oh, wow.
Yes, I think I had that.
Oh, my.
I did have that.
Runs on a watch battery. I think it still works.
Oh.
If I put new batteries in here. But
where it went. You know what? I bought a handheld at a yard sale, and I don't know where I put it. It's clearly a WWF Attitude Era handheld. It doesn't, but the little graphics around the edge are all Sable.
Sable? Wow.
Sable. I don't know what the fuck it is, and the batteries are too dead to get it to work.
Is it a Tiger game?
No. It's super generic.
It's probably
Like on a
It's
scale
super generic.
on a scale of 1 to 10, it's generic as fuck.
Chachi, if we get your show going for It's Our Coin to Begin, we need to have like a one where we reminisce about like Tiger and LCD games like this.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's got it stored because everybody had that game. That
side one that was Bo Jackson. It was baseball on
all
one
right,
side.
all right.
football on the
Whoa.
other.
We're gonna hold that for another show here because this is a whole other can of worms. So in the meantime, let's go check out Bad Mike's Minute of Mayhem, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Mad Mike once again with your Minute of Mayhem. Now I'm not going to talk about Raw again this week. Kind of seemed like a holding pattern to me, for the most part. I mean, one big announcement, build up to Brock Triple H at SummerSlam, which is probably going to happen. But I got the WrestleMania DVD, the Blu-ray, to be specific, this past week. I watched the entire Hall of Fame ceremony. Now, ordinarily, unless I'm working for them, I wouldn't shill for WWE like this. But the Hall of Fame ceremony was probably the best Hall of Fame ceremony I've seen thus far. JBL's induction of Ron Simmons is fucking phenomenal. It's one of those things you just gotta hear. Another thing I learned is one of the Usos actually has good mic skills. I don't know which one it was because they were wearing shirts and you couldn't see which one had the tattoo. But it was also, you know, nice to see Yokozuna being represented. The Ric Flair speech was interesting. Very, very interesting. The rest of the Horsemen, you know, not too bad. Barry Windham can't talk. Tully Blanchard was awesome. So was Arn Anderson. And J.J. Dillon was good too. But the Edge and Christian, the Christian induction speech alone is fantastic. And the entire unedited Edge induction speech is amazing. He did like pictures and videos and all sorts of crazy stuff. It's really awesome. So if you have a couple extra bucks, hop on down to Best Buy and pick up the Blu-ray of WrestleMania because the Hall of Fame ceremony is entirely worth it. Not to mention that this year's WrestleMania was actually pretty good. And you also get WrestleFan in his WrestleMania Blu-ray match with his cousin or clone or twin or whatever we're calling it these days. And they also have a few other, you know, segments build up of Cena and The Rock and all that bullshit. But yeah, so this is Mad Mike with your Minute of Mayhem. Peace, bitches.
Mad Mike for that little bit of mini review for the WrestleMania DVDs, Blu-ray, I guess. Yeah, I've always wanted. I still want to get like the last few of them, just for the Hall of Fame stuff in the long run.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because they
the
don't
stuff
show
you
the
don't
Hall
get
of
to see
Fame
on
as
TV.
we used to and stuff.
What's that?
I said they don't show the Hall of Fame like we all enjoy.
Yeah, it's always like a special, and then you see it like 2 months later. It's like, you really?
Yeah, so we get to see the guys at WWE was like, hey, you were not important enough to put your speeches on TV.
Yeah. I don't remember even like a review of the people that were on it, like they usually do. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But still. So go check that out, and thank you, Mad Mike. So we went to Raw last night. Wait, why are you unplugged?
Raw is unplugged.
Well, Chachi is unplugged. Wait,
Chachi is unplugged.
Raw is Pittsburgh.
Yes, it is. There's a picture of us doing not Inception with our cameras up there.
Also, can I, before we start talking about the actual wrestling,
yeah,
here's something that annoys me about WWE. Because last night we didn't get home. I didn't get home until 10 to 12.
Okay.
And that's because WWE has this belief that people aren't allowed to leave unless they're happy.
That seems like a pretty good belief for doing a live show.
No.
No?
Alright, here's what I want, okay?
Okay.
If I go to a Raw,
yeah,
I want the show to be over when Raw is over.
Okay.
They should be looking for the same ending reaction from the live crowd that they get from the TV audience. That's all I'm saying. These, like, okay, I realize why they do it, but it's still annoying. Putting title matches when the camera's not on is pointless.
It's just like seeing a live show.
I don't like it then.
Televised shows.
I don't like it then either.
Okay, that's your preference.
Putting a title match, because they're not going to drop the belt unless someone's getting suspended for drugs.
No, but you get to
Especially
see a
for a
match.
week.
Reyes, what's your view on this?
I agree with Chachi. I mean, if you put the title on a week before a pay-per-view, what's the point of doing that on a dark show?
It's not a matter of
a dark match.
It's a matter of the stuff we talked about before on the show of how we feel sometimes when we watch Raw, like, oh, I feel bad for the live crowd.
Yeah.
You know, I get what you're saying, Chachi, how you want that ending reaction to be, you know, the same ending reaction you get if you watch the show. But if it's, like, mostly promo and there's, like, 2 matches on the card, you just want to be like, well, that's it.
No, start the show at 7:30, throw in some extra dark matches, that's all I'm saying.
Then you wear out the crowd in advance and you don't get as hot reactions on TV. You know what also happens?
That's not true. That's not true. How many times have you gone to tapings that are both SmackDown and Raw, and when fucking SmackDown's over, you're still happy to sit through Raw?
That's true, although I don't think we've had those here in Pittsburgh. But the SmackDown tapings, they always had NXT. You know, so whatever they did for NXT and superstars, like whatever was left over. I think they might have done 2 superstars matches at this show, and a dark match before the show.
Aren't they stopping the NXT thing now?
Yeah, the NXT. The stories have been coming out that they're going to start filming those down in Orlando at Full Sail University, which you see on all the ads all over the internet and TV and stuff. So
that should be fun.
Yeah, I hope they're not having students.
It's like FCW, basically.
Well, yeah, basically. I mean, they're kind of downgrading it, yet not, I guess. Well, it's going to be the next step.
There's our FCW, and then there's our FCW for TV.
Yeah, YouTube. Exactly.
Or YouTube.
No, it's on internationally.
Yeah.
It counts. Sure. In Canada, I think they get it on TV, so that's our hat. That's our hat.
America's hat.
Yes.
Anyhow, on with the show.
We are on with the show. I thought we are. LB, what was your feeling on the show last night?
The show in general or the dark match? Which conversation are we going to have?
Wherever you want to go with it.
Well, as far as the dark match goes, we left. We were not interested in the dark match.
Okay.
So that's my thought on that. But my lovely Lady Lunchbox did join us. It was her first live Raw event. I mean, she's seen the house show. She came to us to the house show, but this is her first live event. She did really enjoy it. So, and, you know, to her eternal credit, before she started dating me, she was not a wrestling fan, never watched it, never interested, and now she is in fact interested. So, she generally... Oh, fuck.
Hey, I took
What's
that.
that?
What?
She generally watches Raw with me, so on those rare occasions, I would like to share her thoughts with you.
Okay.
Shit Sara Says during Raw. During there was the first match. It was Zack Ryder versus
Dean Ambrose.
No.
Dean Ambrose.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the second match. Yeah, that was the first match. The second match where it was Zack Ryder versus...
No, the first match was...
No. Ryder was the dark match. Then it was...
No, Dean Ambrose faced...
Zack Ryder.
What's his name?
Zack Ryder.
Who the fuck
Zack
did the other guy
Ryder.
fight?
Tyson Kidd fought Ted
Heath
Slater.
Slater.
Tyson Kidd. Who fought A-Rod?
One man Southern rock band.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Heath Slater.
Heath Slater.
Guy that nobody knows. Heath Slater. There you go. Her comments on
You
him.
have to bring up his long ass nickname.
There you
Yeah,
go.
why do I remember that part?
Her comment on Heath Slater was, "Look at them snazzy pants. I wish my hair looked like that." And then she proceeded to have a very long conversation about how nice his hair is with Chachi.
Oh yeah, she wanted his hair, but I get to borrow it so I can make it a little bed and sleep in it. Because it's nice and it looks nice and soft and luscious and comfy.
You're gonna sleep in his ginger mane?
Yes.
Rest in peace, Val Sassoon.
Now on WWEshop.com, Heath Slater's airbed.
WrestleFan, you're getting the one-liners all over tonight. Good shit. In her introduction with wrestling, she doesn't understand why they will hit each other with chairs and yet wear knee pads. And this has become an ongoing thing, and last night was no exception. Has anyone ever wrestled in bare feet? Yeah, mostly Samoans. Did they still wear knee pads? Yes. God damn it!
I would just like to state how amazing this is in person.
Oh boy!
There's a bear hug at one point, and she's like, "Baby, they're hugging. Look, he's cradling him." I think that was during the Tensai match because shortly thereafter, she said of Tensai, "That man has an enormous package."
Wow!
Oh yeah, Albert won package. One bulge of the night.
Did we talk about that on here? I thought that was just a ride home thing.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
During the apron change between Superstars and Raw, we get to see all the hammers underneath the ring. Let's see here. Why is Daniel Bryan such an angry little man? There's a
He's not angry. He keeps saying yes all the time. How is that being angry?
That's true.
Yes.
There's a lot of nose grabbing this evening, more than normal. During the Big Show versus Kane match, she shouted, "Tear out his weave!"
She did, really loud.
Yeah. About Big Show, I just want him to quit and open a bakery or something. There's plenty of room for giant bakers.
These are the best Cliff Notes ever.
I wish he was. You know, I'm glad he's not making this up.
There's no exaggeration at all. These are verbatim. And then after he broke down in disbelief, she says, "There's a 7-foot man crying on television right now."
That doesn't happen every day.
E-Star.
That's
After Big Show leaves, there's just like a brief silence. She goes, "Nipple!"
Wow.
Pulls down his thing, and she's like, "Oh, it's nipple time." Kofi Kingston and R-Truth came out, and she said, "I'm offended for these guys." Dolph Ziggler came out, and she said, "Ass cape. Ass cape."
There was no ass cape.
I know there was no ass cape. Let's see here. But I like it. I want to rustle your jimmies, she said to me.
Wow.
And it was a good night.
Yeah. People are losing their shit. I replied, people love Randy Orton. Why?
Yay!
That is the greatest question ever.
And finally, simply, Chris Jericho is not sorry.
To what?
Who knows? Who fucking knows? Anything.
Chris Jericho's not sorry. Okay, well.
So that was the delightful. That's the first edition of Shit Sara Says while watching Raw. Hopefully we'll be able to watch it this coming Monday, and I can bring you new editions in the coming days.
Hey, maybe the pay-per-view. Maybe the pay-per-view if we get together for that too.
Hangout.
Yes.
Hangout. So, hang out during the pay-per-view
we need
again.
a commentary in the Hangout.
It could have been worse. It really could have been worse.
Could have been.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Oh.
Breaking news. There is something that is happening right now
Fox News alert.
That may get everyone on the show to watch TNA.
Why?
Apparently, a former WWE star got a tryout at the Impact tapings against Devon.
Okay.
Guess who? Everyone guess.
Evan
John
Bourne.
John Morrison.
No.
That's all the guesses?
Coco Beware.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
None other than the former Wrestling Mayhem Show mascot, Michael Q. Knoxville.
Back to Knoxville.
I thought you were going to say Norman Smiley for a minute.
Yeah, I thought I was going there, and I read the story earlier, so I don't know why I was confused.
Banshees.
Van, if Mike Knox gets on TNA, I think everybody's going to start watching it, and ratings will go through the roof.
Yeah, they might break 1.1.
I'm still not
I'd
watching
rather
it.
watch Stoke Monkey.
And then I'll hand out roses.
And he still has the beard, which is the best part of Mike Knox.
Nice.
Why wouldn't you have the beard?
Yeah, man.
Everyone
Wait,
remembers
wait,
you
did
as
that
the
mean
guy with the beard.
His beard
Meet
and
the
Eric
beard.
Young's beard can mate.
Oh my god, they should be
There's a team. There's a team, guys. The Beards.
The beard.
Wait.
Wait.
We thought about that. Wait a minute. The beard.
I like where this is going.
It could be a
Is that better? Is that better
Joe.
than the Johnsons?
so like ODB is his beard.
The beard.
Ugh.
That's the greatest storyline ever.
And then Orlando Jordan comes back and squirts stuff.
Oh.
It's what he did. It's what he did.
Why am I the only one excited about this?
Why not, right?
I'm excited in a very visceral way.
Okay.
He's not wearing pants, remember?
Yeah, that's right. He's not wearing pants.
Terror and Hustler.
And my keyboard's going to be angled upward a little bit.
So TNA did have a pay-per-view this weekend,
They
speaking
did.
of, and a lot of you guys watched it, I believe. I caught it today. So what?
Wait, a lot of you guys watched it?
A lot of you guys watched it?
Riz watched it.
I watched it.
Is Riz the only one
I
that
didn't
watched
watch
it?
shit.
Riz, what are your opinions of this pay-per-view?
Honestly, this was the moment where I was like, okay, I'm going into this thinking the Triple H Undertaker type deal. I'm going in with no expectations about this pay-per-view.
I think is what you should do for
That's-
every TNA pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Expectations.
And that's what I always do for TNA. That's what I always do for this show, too, by the way.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh.
What?
Did you just slam us?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, I thought that was a slam.
But come on. But overall, this was probably one of the better, I don't want to say best, but better pay-per-views TNA has
probably best.
done. This is one of the better pay-per-views TNA has done over the past few months, or probably about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the matches were solid all the way through. And there was little or no there was a little bit of promos, but not much. And like I said in my Facebook post, Sorg would like this part. They were responsive to the Twitter questions. But what I meant was it was a generic type of question so that they can go on to their match. Like how they're going to beat this guy, it was for not the X Division title. It was Austin Aries and Bully Ray's segment of the night or whatever, and they answered the question and then went on to the I'm going to beat this guy, blah, 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 blah. But overall, this was one of the better shows I've seen for TNA. Sorg, what did you think? I mean, since you're probably the only one who watched it, besides me.
I thought it was a really good show. I mean, once again, Bully Ray Aries, I think, was maybe one of the show stealers of the night. The ladder match was really decent. The tag match was really good. I mean, there wasn't anything where I skipped the Crimson match because I heard it was
the Crimson match wasn't good. That was the only downside to it.
Yeah, I mean, it really looked like a good show. It looked like it looked good.
It looked like a pay-per-view.
It looked entertaining. It was there was no BS on it. It was good. This is what they need to do.
And you know how we always say the pay-per-view acted like an Impact? Felt like an Impact? Impact stunk compared to this. This was one of the first times I got to say that.
Yeah.
So, kudos.
It felt like they actually built something and it paid off.
Yes.
Which is weird because it wasn't even one of their big pay-per-views.
That's next month.
That's next month, yeah.
Which apparently is next month already. Yeah.
And I heard that Aries had a really sick bump, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, his back was messed
Yeah, I
up.
guess Dixie tweeted pictures of his back after, and I guess it looked pretty bad.
Oh.
I didn't get a chance to see it, but I think I know he was not in an X Division match, but I think Aries brings a lot of respect to the X Division with the stuff he's doing there. They had a pretty decent, kind of one-off match with Shima on Thursday. So I mean, he's still defending it. It's not like we forgot there's an X Division. Nothing important is happening with it, but it's still there. Things are still happening.
It's not like a Kevin
He's
Nash
bringing legitimacy to it.
Yeah,
Let's just say that.
He's bringing legitimacy.
Over the past few months, it was who was the champion before that?
Before Aries was
before
Brian
Aries.
Kendrick.
Who? Kendrick?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because he's kind of going, and I like this idea that they have two guys there on their singles, the main singles belts. Because X Division is more important than anything else, other than the world. They have guys on there that are holding on to the belt and pretty much going for records. I think both of them have stated they've been close to, or if not over, because I think Aries was over already.
Yeah.
And
Bobby Roode's held it for like 7 months now?
Roode's
6 or 7 months?
Roode's had it since probably about a month after Bound for Glory, which is great. That's great. And it's a guy that's on top. That's not like one of these other guys that's an ex-WWE guy. He's running through all those guys one way or another. He didn't lose in a really BS way on this last show, which is good because that was going to start getting a little bit weak. So I mean, I think they're doing a really good job with it. I think this is one of the best kind of eras that they've had in a while with the stuff they're doing.
But again,
let me ask you a question about TNA.
Okay,
sure.
About Kurt Angle specifically, does it still feel like when you think about Kurt Angle, do you think, oh, he's an old WWE guy? Do you still think of him as that? Or has he been in TNA long enough now that he's a TNA guy?
Every time he comes out there and has a good match, I think, man, I wish he was cleaned up and back in WWE.
And that's what I thought last Sunday.
It's like
last Sunday with
good matches.
AJ, right?
He did. He's having good matches. You can't deny any of that stuff, no matter what you think about him. It's like, man, I wish he was cleaned up in WWE. Because it was like, and it's still this feeling with TNA, because like somebody like that, it's like, and then it would matter. It's like that argument that was going around a month or so ago, saying Sting is never going to be a legend or a Hall of Famer or considered to be in the upper echelon of guys and icons or whatever he wants to call himself until he has a stop in WWE. Basically, Sting needs a WrestleMania moment in order to matter.
No.
At this point, yes.
At this point,
he does.
Because
I don't think that's I think Sting needs to go out on a high note. But maybe
where
TNA's
can he do that?
What is he going to do? A high note at he's going to do his high note at Universal Studios?
Well, that's
what great match could he have? What could he possibly do that you could have him go out and be like, that was a good end. That was a good end. A good final Sting moment.
But I don't think you can do that in WWE either. Because it's like we mentioned before. But it's like we mentioned before, no one in WWE knows anything about Sting.
No, well, but they're learning about him because Sting's being featured on the website. He's been on several DVDs. This guy gets brought up every once in a while. So when that final thing happens and like Sting's coming to WWE, he's going to be on WrestleMania. He's going to fight, anybody, The Rock, Austin, Punk, something.
God, I'm fucking I feel physically ill at the thought of any of those matches.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like, even WWE, but like...
Or is Sting really overrated?
Sting has been overrated for a very, very long time.
Because he's had great matches, but it was with guys like, Ric Flair and, guys like that.
Steamboat and stuff like that back in the day.
80s, 90s.
Yeah, mostly 90s, I think.
And and it was all that, like, beach Sting, not the Crows thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's a little weird with them. Like, there's remaking and then there's ripping off a movie to do it. So, I always thought that was a little bit weird.
If somebody said, if he all of a sudden came back with the whole, like, beach Sting and went, all right, I want one more run, and I want it with this guy. I think people would get behind him with the beat Sting going after maybe a Jericho or a not Undertaker, because Undertaker can't handle it anymore.
You know what would have really mattered and would have been probably really great if they didn't do it a million times already? Sting and Hogan. If it didn't happen for the last 10 years.
Sting coming to WWE, I think that would be a way unrealistic expectation. Sting coming to WWE and wrestling Jericho. I mean, Vince can only suck the internet's cock so much. He's putting CM Punk and Daniel Bryan in the main event on a pay-per-view for the WWE title, okay? That's him working the shaft and cupping the balls with a finger around the backside, okay? Sting, bringing in Sting versus Jericho just to make, 20, 30,000 people on the internet sort of happy, kind of with a perverse curiosity. I don't think so.
No, it's not the internet that you worry about. It's bringing the people back. Just like how many people, they had record numbers here for WrestleMania, right? Because how many people showed up that haven't showed up for 8 years that Rock has been gone?
Yeah.
You're getting the same thing, because I'm sorry, Nitro was on top for a while. There were millions of people that were into it, into Sting, no Sting, and maybe haven't bothered with wrestling since because there's no Sting. I mean, he's not on the level of The Rock or anything.
Ratings gold on TNA now.
Here's my question. Do you have to wrestle to have your WrestleMania moment, though? Can't you be like a manager or something like that?
I don't think he works as a manager. I would like to see him drop.
I mean, look at John Laurinaitis.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of does that.
They're not.
And there's also no reason that Sting can't be just dropped in the Hall of Fame without his moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They've had plenty of guys that didn't set a toe into WWF.
The Horsemen were never in the WWF.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame could be his WrestleMania moment.
I mean, yeah.
And honestly, if Rick really liked Sting so much, he could really sit there and go, "Hey, this kid put me through my paces way back when. You need to put him here too."
Exactly. Or, what do you do? One more last Ric Flair Sting match at WrestleMania.
Nobody ever wants to see that ever. Let me put Sting.
Okay. Here's something from the same era. What if you had Sting, Shawn Michaels?
That's gross. That's gross. And you should feel bad for bringing that up. Sting. Listen,
Sting Taker. Sting Taker.
No, double gross.
Sting Vader.
Sting Vader.
Sting is like replicated foie gras, alright? It's a reminder of something that was once good, but ain't that great now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would be about as bad as putting Steamboat against Flair right now. Even though I think they both could actually pull off of it.
No, I'd actually like that. I mean, even Flair.
Right.
I mean, Flair being who he is now, yeah. But I mean, I think Flair could handle Steamboat.
Sting versus Battle Cat.
Oh, wouldn't you look? Somebody watched Are You Serious? Wow.
Where's Glacier's final WrestleMania moment?
That's right. Speaking of
Mortal
TNA,
Kombat.
Speaking of TNA, I mean, we all agree across the board. Although I think we all agree across the board that TNA needs to get their pay-per-views out of Orlando if they're going to feel like they matter.
I know what you're fucking talking about.
And this one came up. It was over on our open message board over there on the Facebook.
Hosted by me.
Bound for Glory to take place this year at the Impact Zone in Orlando. But I guess Slammiversary is going to be the big show. It's their big 10-year, of course, so I think they're kind of shifting the focus there. So there you go.
They should call it Bound.
I went to Bound for Glory in Detroit, and it was pretty interesting. I mean, it was no WWE, but I've never been to a WWE event. But they need all their events out of the Impact Zone.
There's no glory to be held near the Hulk roller coaster.
That was the only downside I saw during that what was it, Sacrifice last Sunday.
Because it feels like you're paying for an episode of Impact.
There was no crowd reaction, and if there was, it was for something unrelated to wrestling.
Yeah.
And they used, what was it?
Skittles!
Yeah. They used "This is awesome" or what was it? Or "Holy shit" for every match. It seemed like.
Yeah.
And some of the times he used it, didn't even work.
Yeah,
it didn't even work for that.
So they're just kind of wait. Are they really bringing wrestling fans in there, or are these just extras casting calls?
Oh.
Maybe they got rid of the crowds entirely.
I get it.
Anyways, I lost what... Oh, yeah, Sonic in the chat room. The pay-per-view looks like TBS shows that came on Saturday afternoon. Sierra says TNA is the worst crowd. They're mostly plants, I'm sure. And they could be, you know. Maybe they're like, oh, we're not getting the holy shit and the weird, you know, that was awesome chance anymore. Let's get some guys out there to start that up, you know.
Probably would be the same reaction putting a ficus out there if they were plants.
Lol, ficus.
Wow.
Venus flytrap. Put a Venus flytrap out there and watch it eat a fly.
No, Venus flytrap.
Can I share something that I am excited that is not dead? And I think it was brought up that there needs to be maybe something along the line of what Mad Mike does for Impact reports for this.
Don't have another action.
WrestleLicious isn't dead!
Yes!
WrestleLicious, baby! Steve Blance, is a writer.
I find this quite interesting, Doug, but go ahead.
Steve Blance, who was the writer of Glow, was at the NYC premiere and told us that WrestleLicious Takedown is going into production for season 2 soon. That Hollywood of Glow is going to be involved in a major capacity. That's wait, who is this Hollywood fellow?
I'm not sure. I did hear something like they were going to bring back Glow for like a series of shows, but like apparently the shows went horrible and the promoter skipped town.
Whoa!
And like stripped a lot of people for money, so that kind of sucks.
Is that still that lottery guy that started WrestleLicious?
No. It was a completely different guy, but like it was Glow because it was in relation with you know how Glow, the people that used to be in Glow and stuff like that. But apparently, like the promoters skipped town, and like the wrestlers weren't getting paid, and the crowd wasn't as good, so it didn't go off the way it should have. But hey, maybe WrestleLicious could be actually better.
There you go. What's that, Bobby?
I wouldn't hold your breath.
Let's just say the reviews weren't glowing.
Oh,
pun points. Points for puns.
Puns are punny.
And otherwise, go ahead.
I do find this interesting though,
okay.
Because what was it, a day or two before this story hit? I just asked the question: Is WrestleLicious still a thing?
Yeah.
And then just a day later, that news popped up.
The gods of questionable female wrestling dawned upon you. Speaking of females,
nothing is questionable about
no. Speaking of females in wrestling, as if we haven't had enough talk about that earlier tonight. John Cena. John Cena's not doing so well with it.
You had a bad day.
Cena's got the pussy party.
As the picture says, yes, Cena is getting a divorce from his
for messing with a hoski.
high school sweetheart and wife, actually married of 3 years. She is apparently taking on the super lawyer that
David Otunga.
No, not that one.
No,
that is bragging. That
super lawyer.
Linda.
That is the super lawyer.
The same lawyer that sided with Linda Hogan. Linda?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And supposedly took Hulk Hogan for 70% of his worth. But I guess
John Cena, you're fucked.
Nope.
But nope.
Here's the difference.
Here's the difference. What is it, Chach?
John Cena was smart enough to get a prenuptial agreement. Which unlike Brock Lesnar,
prenup. No, we can't chant. We can't chant over Skype.
His wife.
For this.
He no-sold his wife.
He did no-sell his wife. But unlike Brock Lesnar's contract, this one's actually binding, so chances are this attorney is going to look bad when he tries to take this to court.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, how Linda went out and just trashed the fuck out of Hogan? Wouldn't it be funny if she did that too and was just like, yeah, he was horrible in bed. He only had 5 moves.
I don't know.
But the thing is, even if he does get money, or if she does get money from this, apparently part of the prenup that he has signed with her says that all gifts are retractable.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So anything of any worth that he's ever bought her, he can just
Goes
be
back
like,
to him.
You know what their
He's
defense?
like-
What their defense is going to be?
you can have $15 million, but I'm taking back everything I ever bought from you, and if you don't have it still, I'll take the payment for it.
Wow.
You know what their defense is going to be?
Hmm.
He signed his name, but she couldn't see it.
Oh.
Pun number 2.
Wow. Wow, really? 5
Bro, you're on a roll.
5
But still,
sexual
here-
moves of doom.
Can we like substitute everything we said about the Hulk Hogan, Linda Hogan divorce, and just move it over to what we're gonna say about the John Cena
think
and
so.
Mrs.
Wait, no,
I
this
think
isn't as
Cena's-
sad, okay?
I think Cena's much smarter than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. I mean, Cena's a better businessman. He's from that generation that's seen guys like Hogan and Flair that have like deflated their entire incomes despite being the
They
biggest
get
thing.
married 50,000 times.
Yeah, I mean, there was a prenup. I wonder if Flair bothered with the prenup, considering the shit he's in right now. I mean, Cena's oddly a businessman, I think. When you see how he goes about things, the concern I think was brought up on one of the articles is if there is any dirt, if it comes out, how will WWE handle it? Because he's kind of the golden boy right now. He's kind of the infallible golden boy of WWE, you know, especially with all the Make-A-Wish stuff and everything. I mean, they start dropping infidelity or something like that. Who knows? I mean,
that could be bad.
I mean, and there was a good point in the article I read. I think it was something on WrestleZone. Where, you know, it doesn't really matter what the perception is on WWE and to fans, but the case is going to come out, whatever dirt will come out in court, and the media is a whole different story.
We'll spin it.
It'll depend on where they want to spin it, how bad they want to spin it, what they're going to do with it. I mean, it could get really bad there and not be really a big deal, but become one. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. There was actually a really good story I saw on the net of somebody that was on one of those transporters, one of those people movers at the airport, and happened to bump into him and was kind of dejected because they're like. They're like, what the hell? He's like, I acknowledged him and asked if he could sign something or something real quick for me, and he said no. Later found out the story broke later that day, and he's like, okay, I feel bad I feel bad for lashing out. John Cena's still a good guy. He was definitely having a bad day. I
won't
So there you go, wrestling fans. Don't be a dick.
Did anyone see the Botchbox comic? The latest one about the whole John Cena divorce?
Yes. What was that about there, WrestleFan?
Basically, it's 2 fans at a Raw show discussing the whole John Cena divorce thing and how horrible it must be for him and that he must be going through a lot. And then the next panel is them booing John Cena fervently. And they're like, no, he can take it.
Yeah. This will be the thing that make him embrace the hate. You watch.
Heel turn.
I'm sorry. When he threw that puck at John Laurinaitis and went, "Go puck yourself," I peed myself.
Leave John. And that's the thing. I think that's the thing. He's angry from the divorce, and he's taking it out on John Laurinaitis. I mean, you don't make fun of the man's voice. It's a serious condition.
Yeah, and apparently he watched every Jim Carrey movie from the 90s over the weekend.
Oh my god.
And guess what? We don't care because that was an awesome promo.
For WrestlingMayhemShow.com, the whole first half was about how Jim Carrey made a hell of a career out of doing what John Cena did, but I cut all that shit out.
There you go. Go check it out.
What
was this picture?
I like the picture.
Wait, what
you
is
have
this picture you found?
It's a dirt face.
It's
It's a dirt.
And why isn't it in the article? You need to correct that right away, sir.
he's happy to be alive.
That's right. That's right. He's having a good time. All right, guys. On that note, it's been a great show. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, all you guys, for joining us. Let's learn real quick. And I don't. Why are we writing this in the doc so you guys don't forget? And
mine was.
Chachi and I are the only ones that haven't filled anything out
Bobby
yet.
didn't.
What?
Oh, I didn't either.
Bobby
I didn't have it open.
I don't open the wrestling doc.
Yeah, no, he's got an iPad, so it's a little goofy for him.
No, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I show up, I yell at WrestleFan, I say hi to Saucebox, we have a discussion, I yell at WrestleFan some more, I tell you what I learned in wrestling, we bounce. Sorg, what did you learn in wrestling this week?
Show up, mayhem, leave.
Yes, shirt idea.
Wrestle bitch. What'd you learn in wrestling this week?
I learned what I learned from wrestling.
No one fucking cares.
I learned from wrestling this week from AJ, who's not in this room, but he taught me this. The reason why Big Show was so sad when John Laurinaitis told him to get on his knees was because ever since he was a child, Big Show had a condition where he could never bend his knees in a 90-degree angle. And he didn't tell anyone because it was so embarrassing, and that's why he was crying so bad when when Laurinaitis wanted him to beg for a job.
So he was crying in pain.
Mikey said he had a dick the size of a Prius.
Yeah.
Couldn't bend.
Yeah.
Size of a Prius.
Riz.
Yes.
Wrestling this week.
Learned. I learned that there are side effects of bringing kids to their first wrestling show. I was with some of my friend, and he brought his kids from a little younger, like four kids, and this is what the side effects of bringing them to their first show. There is vomiting, nose bleeding, upset stomach, fear of the funkosaurus, irrational behavior, talking to people who can't speak the English very good, sensitivity to fireworks, sticky and smelly shoes, and or, as we learned from Big Freaky, really awkward interviews with really awkward members.
Wow.
What?
Hot damn.
Wow. Saucebox.
Yep.
Wrestling. You learned week. Go.
I learned that I love wrestling. I love every single thing about it. All of it. It's all fucked up and weird and awesome. I love going to live shows and hearing people yell stupid shit and yelling stupid shit myself and listening to people talking foreign languages where the only thing you can make out is wrestler names and fucking freaking out. The guy's beating the shit out of Lord Tensai. He's like, oh, don't kill him. And it's so fucking funny and we love it. I fucking love wrestling.
Those guys.
I fucking love it.
Those guys behind us were amazing. They were they're from, I don't know, Cameroon or something, some African country, but it was tremendous. And they were so
some African
everything.
country.
I'm sorry, they were African,
WrestleFan, that's
and
racist.
they sound like they were from. There was an African country they were from.
Bobby.
What if they're from Jamaica?
But I'm no expert. No, because then that's just a dialect, isn't
Bobby.
it? I mean, that's not racist. I think it's the truth.
Bobby, wrestling week learned. Go.
I learned that we forgot something in the Indie Minute this week. This weekend is the Sci-Fi in the Valley Con in Johnstown, hence the Green Lantern ring. There will be live pro wrestling themed. There will be live pro wrestling, sci-fi and horror themed matches on Friday from 5 to 7, and Saturday 1:30 to 2:30, and 4:30 to 5:30, and Sunday there will be a meet and greet with the wrestlers all day. And they are friends of the show, Phoenix Pro Wrestling Wrestlers. So that's what I learned.
Go check that out.
WrestleFan.
SciFiInTheValley.com.
Yes, sir.
Wrestling.
What did I learn?
Yes.
I learned that Ryan Edmonds is better than every one of us, and to carry a sack of oranges.
You're just sucking up because you're going to see him Saturday.
Damn straight. You ain't leaving me there getting my ass whipped.
Yeah, Missy will protect you.
John, wrestling week learned. Go.
I'm going with Hot Wheels. Simply the best.
Chat
Chachi.
room. Chat room.
From the
Chat
chat room, we got AJ learn that WrestleFan rises above the hate weekly.
But
He does.
He also learned that Riz found out the kids at WWE shows had the same
That's
side effects
Screwdriver.
as Cymbalta. That's Sonic. That's Sonic. Both of those are from Sonic. I'm sorry.
and by the way, Screwdriver, it's Yaz, not Cymbalta.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Also, Zero2K learned that ROH is a great wrestling company, not a great broadcasting or web development one.
Chachi.
Oh, wait, that's not done
Wrestling.
yet. Not done yet. Zero also learned that Johnny H has a hell of a bitch slap. And
Okay, if you didn't
Jay
laugh when he
Portash,
slapped John Cena and left.
Jay
that-
Portash learned that this is the greatest show that TNA will ever tape. What?
What?
No
Ah.
kidding.
Oh, let's put her
All right.
TNA.
What we missed, Chachi?
Chachi.
Yeah.
Wrestling. Learn. Go.
Foreign guys at a live show, awesome.
True.
The guy at the end of our row still believes that wrestling is real.
It's still real to him, damn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't you love those
Oh,
people?
yeah, I heard him yell.
Yeah, at the end of the big show, at the end of the big show thing, he stood up and yelled, "Don't worry, Big Show, you can get a job with TNA." And I learned that Justin Roberts is a lying little fuckhead.
Whoa.
Whoa!
We didn't get
Where'd
our
this come from?
we didn't get our amazingly large pyro at the beginning of the show that he said we
Oh,
would
yeah.
get. So
Liar, liar.
fuckhead.
Can I also throw in there because that reminded me because there's a guy yelling funny things that way back up in our section.
Yes.
Just yelling
when Kane and Big
Tensai
Show,
and-
no, when Kane and Big Show were in there, it was just a little quiet, and you heard, "Let a missile hit the ring now." It was like nowhere. It was like.
I forgot about that.
Chief
That was
seats
good.
were awesome
That was
last
good.
night. I gotta
said,
say.
The Chief seats are the best thing because it's the most vociferous people that didn't pay much to get in and have a buttload of kids. Because like the foreign language guys were like the entire row behind us. There were like 20 of them.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And to see the stuff they were getting excited about, that's what I love to see that. And the pyro droids, and watching what the cameramen do, and not really knowing why they had to change the canvas 3 times during the night.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I think
and
10
stuff
side.
like that. It's always
Big
really
Show
fun.
Tears.
I think it was Tensai.
His
Big Show
Tensai?
Tears.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They had changed it after Big Show
Big
cried.
Show tears. That's it. His knees hit the ground.
Because
Mac
it
gets
flooded
changed.
the whole ring.
There you go.
It just stayed there, lingered, and soaked through.
Guys, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, at Mayhem Show on Twitter. We're here live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern or so. You can join us in the chat rooms at that address I just said. And you can also join us in the Hangout. Circle us on Google+. We will circle you back, and you will be invited
We'll do a
every
circle
Tuesday
jerk.
night. Jump in there, have fun with us. You can also join us on Facebook, the page. I hear that, Chachi. The page and the
Sorry.
open group where we have lots of fun. Join us on the Google Hangouts. Friend one of us for Monday nights, and we'll let you guys in there. Go buy the app that Riz has up right there. Super close up.
I'm not going back to the email because it froze.
Oh, what?
So I have to email the
Okay.
wizard.
Go to that $1.99. I swear it works most of the time.
$1.99.
But it gives you all the access to the shows and the extra stuff. There's a lot of interesting extra stuff, as there has been. Thanks all the crew. Thank you, Ryan Edmonds. Go check them out this weekend, rwalive.com. I didn't even mention the IWC show, IWCWrestling.com. Sorgatron Media will be there taping both in
You can
some
email us
capacity.
at-
You can email us at goodtimeswrestlingmayhemshow.com, 412-206-0967 for you guys without the letters. Thanks, guys. Thanks to our great chat room. Thanks, everybody, joining us in the Hangout. For the entire Mayhem crew, Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait.